Yeah. Mike, we're coming home from New York, New Jersey, just everything was going great. Patriots celebrated in the garage at Gillette Stadium, and then, bam, Diggs, and then Barmore. The news broke pretty quickly, and just your thoughts and where this came from and where we're at right now.
Yeah, so Dan, on these allegations, they're serious. You treat them with respect, and at the same time, I feel like you just follow the facts and start with Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs has not been arrested. He has not been arraigned. There hasn't been, to my knowledge, a district attorney that has even said they're going to go forward with a case at this point. So that's where we are. I think we're very early in the process, and the fact the team came out with a statement, Dan, that said Stefon categorically denies it, and we support Stefon. I think they feel like that he's going to be fine, ultimately.
And how do you think this was taken by the team? And how do you think it was taken by Diggs, too? He showed a lot of pride. He was nearly in tears the other day at the Jets game, saying that 30 yards from 1,000 yards, he didn't care. All he wants to do is win.
Yeah, I think Dan, seeing him around in the locker room today, you were in there with me, and he was in there. He wasn't hiding. Yeah. He didn't talk to us, but I think that was felt like that was more based on maybe his counsel's advice at this point, to not hold his sort of regular Wednesday chat with us. You heard Drake May and Nick's piece right there, that he led the team. He was still giving the speech. So I think for Stefon Diggs, just watching him, felt like business as usual from a football standpoint. Christian Barmore was a little bit tougher one to read, Dan, because he wasn't around today. Mike Vrabel saying he had an illness, and that report, the police report, that felt like it had a little more weight to me than the Stefon Diggs
more than just
one.
a dispute. That was more, So again, but it's all with respect. I think it's the way we look at it for now, and just kind of see what happens as we go forward. All right, Mike, I think they're all looking to just beat Miami because they really don't have much control other than to beat the Dolphins and wait and see. Denver has a chance, but the Chargers not playing Justin Herbert. I think rightly so by Jim Harbaugh as Herbert has been banged up. So we'll see Trey Lance. What are you thinking? How do you think it's going to all shake out here?
Yeah, so Mike Vrabel says they're going to play the starters and the healthy starters. And Dan, you were down there today, and there was a long list of players that did not practice, including Hunter Henry, the tight end being one of them. Seven, right? So I think it's a balance here. You're playing to win. The number one is really what you want, but the number two is what you control. Play the healthy starters and adjust accordingly. If you get to halftime and the Broncos are down 30-0 to the Chargers, maybe you pull a few more guys. There's only so many you can pull, but I think you just try to be smart and nimble, with how you handle it.
And I just think it's so wide open, Mike, that the playoffs, you can throw a blanket over everybody. I don't know how much home and field advantage unless you go to Denver for the AFC Championship. I don't know how anything, works.
And that's the way I feel, Dan, and I want to ask you this question. For me, if you're talking, you could face the Chargers, you could face the Bills or the Texans. I think they're all tough. I want to get your opinion. I think the Chargers would be the team I'd want to see because the Bills can run the ball. We know that.
And they have Josh Allen.
And Houston has that defense.
Yes.
But
although I think the game plan the Chargers had against Houston was terrible. Jim Harbaugh's taking Herbert, throwing 20 yards down the field. What are you doing?
Well, try that against the Patriots.
Yes, let Drake, beat you with the blitz.
That's right.
Beat the blitz. So.
But you and me are similar. We like the Chargers.
Yeah, exactly. All right.